Hi everyone, today I'll be comparing between bacteria and viruses regarding to 5 different topics. They are structure, size, shapes, ways of infection, and most common diseases. Let's start by the structure of bacteria. Bacteria are prokaryotes, meaning they have no nucleus or membrane-bound organelles such as mitochondria and chloroplast. However, they still carry out normal life functions. A bacterium cell contains genetic material. Unlike eukaryotes, they are not found in a nucleus, but in a large circular chromosome in an area of a cell called nucleoid. Many prokaryotes also contain a plasmid, which is a smaller version of the DNA, also has a circular arrangement. Ribosomes are found in all cells and they are simply the site of protein synthesis. The cytoplasm of the cell is covered by 3 protective layers. First, cell membrane, then cell wall, and the outermost layer is the capsule, which is made of polysaccharides and provide extra protection from dehydration, antibiotics, or being engulfed by white blood cells, and also helps the bacteria stick on surfaces. Bacteria have whip-like structure called flagella. It is made of filaments, unlike the eukaryotic flagella that is made of microtubules. Pili is another structure found in bacteria made of protein and can help in sticking on surfaces or act as a bridge between bacterial cells to transform plasmids and cause new genetic characteristics such as resistance to antibiotics. The structure of the virus is simpler than bacteria. It is genetic material covered by a protein coat called capsid. The genetic material may be DNA or RNA, but never both. Viruses are classified by the type of nucleic acid they contain. Some viruses also have an envelope after the capsid. Now let's look at the sizes of bacteria and viruses. Prokaryotes are typically only 1 to 10 micrometers long and 0.7 to 1.5 micrometers wide. Here is a comparison between a human cheek cell and bacteria. Being smaller in size actually benefits the bacteria because it has more favorable surface area to volume ratio than larger cells. It helps nutrients and other substances the cell needs diffuse to all parts of the cell easily. A virus is much smaller than a bacterium. Most viruses range in size from 5 to 300 nanometers. A nanometer is 1000 times smaller than a micrometer. This means that hundreds of viruses could fit in one bacterium. Now we're going to talk about the bacterial and viral shapes. There are 3 main shapes of prokaryotes: cocci, bacilli, and spirochetes. Cocci are spherical or round-shaped, bacilli are rod-shaped, and spirochetes are spiral-shaped. However, bacteria can come in several other shapes. For example, more than one coccus clustered together forms staphylococcus, and same thing for the other shapes. Viruses have many shapes. The 4 major shapes seen are spherical, helical, polyhedral, and complex. Influenza virus is one example of spherical shapes. Helical viruses are rod-shaped with coiled genetic material such as tobacco mosaic viruses that infect tobacco leaves. Polyhedral viruses are many-sided viruses such as adenovirus. Complex viruses are a combination of polyhedral and helical viruses and also have tail fibers. Bacteriophage is a famous example of complex viruses. Viruses can have other varieties of their shapes. Next, we're going to see their ways of infection. Only a small percentage of bacteria cause disease. The small percentage of bacteria that cause disease do so in 2 ways. Some bacteria multiply quickly at the site of infection before the body's defense system can destroy them. In cases of serious infections, bacteria then might spread to other parts of the body. Other bacteria secrete a toxin or other substances that might cause harm. Botulism is a rare but serious illness caused by a toxin that attacks the body's nerves and causes difficulty in breathing, muscle paralysis, and even death. Viruses are not living, so they can't replicate on their own. It attaches itself to the host cell using specific receptors on the plasma membrane of the host. Then it injects the genetic material into the host cell, or in some cases, the entire virus enters the cell and the capsid is broken down quickly, exposing the genetic material. The virus then uses the host cell to replicate by either the lytic cycle or the lysogenic cycle. In the lytic cycle, the entire replication process occurs in the cytoplasm. The virus's genetic material enters the cell and the cell replicates the viral RNA or DNA. The viral genes instruct the host cell to manufacture capsids and assemble the new particles. The new viruses then leave the cell by exocytosis or by causing the cell to burst, releasing new viruses that are free to infect other cells. In the lysogenic cycle, the viral RNA or DNA inserts into a chromosome of the host cell. Once inside, the infected cell will have the viral genes permanently. The viral genes might remain inactive for months or years. Then at some future time, the viral genes might be activated by many different factors. Activation results in the lytic cycle. The viral genes instruct the host cell to manufacture more viruses. The new viruses will then leave the cell. Finally, let's talk about the most common bacterial and viral diseases. Diseases caused by bacteria can be categorized as well as diseases caused by viruses. They both cause sexually transmitted diseases, respiratory diseases, skin diseases, digestive tract diseases, and nervous system diseases, along with many other diseases. Bacteria are responsible for syphilis, strep throat, acne, cholera, botulism, and typhoid. whereas viruses are responsible for HIV, influenza, warts, gastroenteritis, rabies, and smallpox. Only bacterial infections can be killed with antibiotics. The common cold, flu, and most coughs are all caused by viruses. Antibiotics don't treat viral diseases. For most viral infections, treatments can only help with symptoms while you wait for your immune system to fight off the virus. However, vaccines can help prevent you from getting many viral diseases.